So the go home episode of WWE Raw is now in the books, and it was a very fun episode. Not perfect. I mean, there were problems, and not every match and not every segment was great, but there was a lot of good stuff on this show to really hammer home the match. Well, not the match, the show this weekend, WrestleMania 40. Now, look, I've been following the business for a long time, since 1990, because I'm not young. I'm not old either. I'm in the middle. And I'm not going to say they're hyping it up as the biggest WrestleMania of all time. It's hard to say that when you've got like big historic shows like WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 17, but it definitely, when this show is over, could legitimately end up being like one of the best. I mean, it might be the best. We'll find out this weekend, but it's definitely going to be one of the biggest. You know, not just because of The Rock and CM Punk being involved in the company again. It's not just those reasons. Those are big reasons. But Cody, the Bloodline, even Seth, all these things that have been going on going into WrestleMania, like even before that, for the past couple of years, everything with like Sami and the Bloodline and all that stuff. Really, the Bloodline angle's the real strong point. All of that stuff. The Bloodline is a major factor, but if you want me to be honest with you, I feel like the biggest factor as to why things are so hot right now, and this might be a controversial take, but I don't think it is because of Vince not being there. Vince has shot himself in the foot so many times, booking wise and creatively, and Triple H has come in, taken over, and delivered some quality stuff. Not only does he let the boys and girls go out there and actually wrestle, but the storylines and the team he has around him, because it's not just Triple H, there's other people, obviously. Great creative team. And they've done a phenomenal job. This show was great. The Rock and Roman Reigns opened the show. The first hour was commercial free. I'm not going to recap the whole show. I'm going to just go over like what I really liked and the bullet points. Good stuff here. Clearly, The Rock and Roman are going to be at odds. Roman said on the A&E documentary, which I have not watched yet. I have not watched that documentary yet. He said that if he loses to Cody, he's done. I don't think he's literally going to be done, because the match with The Rock is still going to happen. That's still happening. I think what will happen is Roman will lose and then blame The Rock, and that'll lead to their thing. So Roman's not going to go anywhere. I think what I'm going to do later this week is I'm going to give y'all a full preview of WrestleMania. Maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll do a complete WrestleMania preview and prediction and go over the whole show. Lots of big matches, lots of fun matches, tons of talent being involved in this. I loved what they did with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. It was literally like Chad Gable's Apollo and Adrian. They ripped off Rocky 3 so bad. He helps train Sami, which I loved. I love that stuff. And I love how he gave him that speech and Sami's like, I'm afraid. Just like what Rocky told Adrian in Rocky 3 at the beach. And then, of course, Gunther lays them both out, and Sami gets up like, oh, I'm not done yet. Then Gunther has to hit him with the title. I think there is a strong possibility that Sami's going to win the title. I'm going to go over how I think it's going to happen in the prediction video. But there's at first I didn't think it was going to happen. But I could see Sami and Kevin leaving WrestleMania with the Intercontinental and US titles. And like, it's sort of like last year when they won the tag belts. It's kind of like what they did with Benoit and Eddie at WrestleMania 20. Like the best friends on a smaller scale leave WrestleMania with 2 singles titles. Obviously, they're not the big belts like the ones that Roman and Seth has. But still, it's a nice moment for those 2 characters and those 2 people if they do that. Lil Wayne was revealed to be there. They did an awesome video with, it was like Drew McIntyre at like a funeral. And it was about CM Punk. It feels like the Drew McIntyre CM Punk thing is more built up, and there's reasons why, than even Seth and Drew. And I think a lot of that's because, like, they have other plans, and it's also because the tag match with The Rock and Roman against Seth and Cody, that is led literally like, that's eating up all of the main push. The reality is, it feels like The Rock is totally overshadowing Roman Reigns, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. The Rock is more involved in these angles with Cody than even Roman is. But Rock did a great job. Now, before any of this happened, after that segment and opening the show, Roman's like, I'm leaving. And then Rock was like, all right, man. He basically said he was leaving. Now, I knew it was bullshit. I said it on Twitter, and I knew Cody was in the building. They were building it up like Cody wasn't there. We knew Cody was there. So at the end of the show, that's when Cody showed up. When the Bloodline were all brawling, it was Solo, it was Jimmy, it was Seth. Then Rock and Roman come out. They're about to rock bottom The Rock through the announce table, but Roman comes out and low blows Cody, and then Roman and Rock start laying into Seth and Cody, including whipping them with the weight training belt. Phenomenal way to close the show. There's no question that Cody's going to be champion by the end of WrestleMania. I'm going to go into all that in my prediction video. But this was a great, great way to end the show and to really make it seem bleak that the babyface have any chance. It was great. Now, besides that, there was a really good pull-apart brawl between Rhea Ripley and Becky. And I like how this feud has been built up very subtly with just promos until this past couple weeks. Past couple weeks, they've really turned up the heat on these two. It's a pick'em because they could go either way with it. But of the two women's title matches, I think the Bayley Io Sky one has more backstory because it's like the damage control story. But I still feel like this one's probably bigger because of how phenomenal Rhea Ripley has been, and because Becky's probably the bigger star out of the three of them, or the four of them. She might be, but Rhea is definitely there. Like, Rhea's super over. I thought we were going to see CM Punk on the show because Punk was even talking about going to Barclay. He wasn't there, and that was kind of surprising. Maybe it was too much. I don't know. The crowd was chanting for him at the end. So that was good. Besides that, the show was a pretty fire show. I mean, it really was. They kind of didn't focus on every single angle, which I thought that every segment would be focusing on every angle for WrestleMania. But they did add a new one, and that I was not expecting, which is the pre-WrestleMania Andre Battle Royal. Andrade and Ricochet are the only guys who I think have a chance to win that. And there's a story now where it appears like the Judgment Day want Andrade to hurt or beat up Ricochet during the Andre Battle Royal. So why they don't just lay him out in the back, I don't know, but that's what they want. So we'll see. No Rey Mysterio on this show, although Santos was there, and I was kind of hoping we'd see Rey because they do still have to do a little bit more with that match with Dominic and them. But I think we might get something on SmackDown Friday. I mean, we'll see. Friday's the actual go-home show. Lil Wayne was there. I haven't heard Lil Wayne's name in a while, bro. Lil Wayne was there, and he'll be at WrestleMania. The rumor is that Sylvester Stallone will be opening the show with the video package because he's from Philly, and it's finishing the story. There's a lot he could do. I don't know if he'll actually be at WrestleMania, but they're filming something with him. Don't know about any other celebrities. Don't know, but this show was a lot of fun. This Raw was a lot of fun. The business, I mean, this is the hottest they've been probably since the Attitude Era. Even John Cena in 2005, who was red hot at the time, or CM Punk in 2011, it didn't last as long as this. It was for a few months, and the pops and the attendance wasn't quite like this. But for sure, this is a boom period that we're in right now. This is one of the hottest times we've had for wrestling, especially WWE. AEW, New Japan, not quite. Tomorrow here on the channel, I'm going to do a video about the CM Punk interview with Ariel Helwani. I'll be covering that tomorrow here on the channel because there were some bombs thrown about AEW and some reveals from Punk's side that I didn't know. What a crazy week this is going to be, guys. I don't even know if I'm ready. So those are my thoughts. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in a few hours, maybe, by the time you're watching this. And, of course, I got a lot of content coming up, including X-Men 97, Episode 4. I can't wait for that. Anyway, see you soon.